Hi, everyone, and welcome to this JEP third lesson with your favorite team, the New York Giants, with Alfonso Aguilar, Evangelina Monterosa, and Jessica Rogers. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit more about Intro to Programming in Python, and we're going to be expanding on the concepts that we learned the last time. So remember print. Print is a command we use to place text on the output window, and this will allow the user to actually see this print command when we run our code. The syntax on how you write this code is print, and then in parentheses, you put some text in between quotation marks. And then if you're printing a variable, you can also just do print, and then in between the parentheses, you just put the variable name. An example of this would be print, open parentheses, open quotation marks, hello world, and then you close the quotation marks and the parentheses, and then that will just print hello world. Now, you always need to remember that when you are printing text, as we will learn that is called a string later on, you always need to surround it with quotation marks. Otherwise, you will get an error and your code will not work. But for numbers, you don't need to put those quotation marks. So let's talk a little bit more about printing. So by default, the end of each print command will have an enter and the output will go to the next line. However, we can actually change this by changing the end parameter of the print command. So you do that after you put in your text, you write comma, and then end equals. And then after that equals, you want to put in between quotation marks, whatever you want the new ending of that line to be. So in this example, we just left it empty because we want the next line to start right after our print command. And as I told you, the part in between the quotations will be the new end of your line, and you can change that to be anything like a comma or a question mark or something like that. So moving on to how to combine messages in print, you can concatenate two strings, which are made up of only words, by using the plus operator. And this is done in the way that you can see on the screen. So print hello plus world. And this, you need to know that it doesn't add an automatic space. So you need to make sure that in either of the beginning or the end of one of your words, you put that extra space in there. And another thing that you need to know is that when you're doing, when you're trying to combine a number with a word that is in between the quotation marks, this will not work. So that's when you can use commas instead. And the comma, when you use that, it will add an automatic space in between the two things that you're trying to print. So as you can see in this example, it'll be print and then in quotations hello, comma, in quotations world. Moving on to escape characters, which is the last part that we'll talk about in print. An escape character is preceded by a backslash, and it has a deviance from normal meaning. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. And it is normally indicated by two characters. The first one is always a backslash, and then the next one is the escape character. And the computer will read this as only one character, which is the second one. So here in the examples, you can see the basic escape characters that you might need in your code. So backslash quotations will just print the quotation. Backslash will just print the backslash. And then the same thing for backslash n will print a new line. So it's like hitting enter. And then backslash t will show us a tab after you print your code. So moving on to comments. Comments are basically like a line of code or like words that are skipped by Python. They're not read by your code. So it doesn't necessarily have to be code. And this usually serves as extra information to understand what your code is trying to do, or like remind yourself what you're trying to do. And we'll probably show you this later on when we do an example of code. And now finally, how do we write comments? There are two basic ways. So just 1 second while we change the screen. Okay, so the first way is very simple. For single line comments, you just start them with a pound or hashtag. And this is just for one single line. And then if you're trying to code out like multiple lines, you can put 3 quotation marks on top of the block of words that you want to comment out, and then 3 quotation marks in the bottom. And one thing that you can also do is you can select a whole block of code, and then you can comment it out using the hashtags by clicking Control / on your keyboard, and that you should usually comment out all of that code that you selected with using the hashtags.
Okay, so now we're go on to talking about variables. So Alfonso touched on variables earlier when he kind of was talking about print. So now this is kind of actually going through how you can actually make a variable. So that's, I guess, conceptually to think about a variable, it's like a bucket that kind of stores something that you're wanting it to store. This is a great example here. If you look at age equals 12, so the equal sign is the assignment. So it's taking age and setting it to what you're wanting to, which would be like the expression. And then within variables, there's different variable data types. So we have integers, real numbers, which are called floats. And then you have strings and then Booleans. And as you can see, the real difference between integers and floats is just whether or not there's a decimal place or not. And then strings are just going to be your just kind of typical, pretty much any text that you're putting within quotation marks. And then Booleans, it gets a little more complicated, but basically like through Python, it's just a way to formulate whether the response is true or false for a particular answer. And then you have variable naming conventions. It's kind of weird, but it's called camel case. And as you'll see when we get into the examples, it's just the simple way to just name things so that it's consistent through all of your code. And then if someone else is looking at your code, they also can follow along with your naming convention. And just in general, when you name variables, they can only have numbers, letters, and underscores. Anything else, you're not actually going to be able to make the variable name. And then you also cannot start them with a number. And these aren't rules we made. These are just rules and how Python works. We just have to follow them to be able to make appropriate variables. And then within variable naming, there's something called the Python keywords. And again, there's no need to like memorize these or anything. But this is just so if you ever wanted to reference back, these are just words that kind of have other purposes within Python. So you can't actually use them as a name for one of your variables. And then going a little on a different path as far as variable goes is we have something called input function. And if you look at the example where it's name equals input, and then you're asking the user the question. So this format here of using input is actually going to have this question, what's your name, pop out for the user to then get a response from them. And then it's this name is being used for is it's actually going to store whatever the user types in, and it's going to store it in the name variable for you to then use later. And then another thing is, since I forgot to mention it on the prior slide, but input is always going to return a string. But as you get a little deeper into programming, you'll realize that you can't always work with a string. So sometimes you're going to want to convert it into some of the different variable types that we talked about earlier. So you can see here what you would do if you want to change it into a float, into an int, or into a string, and kind of what it's going to return based on which one of those you choose. And then we just sort of do just a quick quiz. We're going to jump into the fun stuff of actually going over some coding examples in a minute. But just a quick quiz to see if you kind of remember what we just discussed so that you're able to follow along better. So just take 20 seconds, look these over, see if you have some answers. Okay, so let's jump into the answers. So what type of variable is 12.1? If you remember, it's involving a decimal number, so that's going to be a float. What two things to remember when you're printing strings? Those are going to be the parentheses and quotation marks that Alfonso talked to you guys about. And then what is the word that you put outside of the parentheses when you're asking the user to type something in, which we talked about how important the input function is when you're getting user input.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna start putting all of this into action and we're gonna move back into Ripple, which we've discussed in our previous video, so I can show you guys how this would look if we're actually programming. So to start with comments, I'm just gonna write up here, you do a hashtag, and then whatever I write, say lesson, is not gonna show to the viewer. So for example, we're gonna start here and we're gonna do print statements. And so this, I'm gonna write what I want us to say in comments, and then we'll go ahead and try to figure out how we would write it so that it prints correctly. So we're gonna have a few lines. The first line is gonna say, I love Python. Next line will say, I am going to practice printing and variables. And then the last line is going to be tabbed over, and it's going to have a dash, and it's going to say, I will put a comment below this. So when we think about how we would write this so that the viewer is going to see it, we discuss what Alfonso said, which is a print statement. So for the first line, we would do print, and it's a string. So remember, we need those quotation marks, and you'll put, I love Python, just like that. And then the user will ultimately see this up here. And then we will move to our next line and we would do something similar. We have to use those quotations. So we'd say, I'm going to practice printing and variables. Just like that. And so you put everything you want. Remember to always just put it within the quotation marks, because these are strings, we're just printing phrases. But I want to kind of talk to you guys about those escape characters that we use. So when you want to do something with the tab, just like Alfonso said, you have to do a backslash, and make sure you don't confuse it with this, because of course there are two, but we use the one that goes back this way. You're going to do that, and you're going to do a T, and this ultimately stands in your mind. You can just think of T for tab and then N for a new line. And so we would do T, and then we would put the dash. You can put them right next to each other because we ultimately don't really want the space there. And then we'll add a space, and we'll put, I will put a comment below this. And that's going to print out. Let's try that. There we go. So see, this is ultimately printing what I put there. And to do a comment, just so we know what we were doing, or if you want to take notes as you're working on your code, you could do the hashtag and just write, this is about printing, and then you can remember what you're doing at each line, because when you're writing a lot of code, it can be very complex. I have one though that I think is really cool that we should work on with variables. So let's say we want to ask the user what day is today, what day of the week, for example. So we could say day of the week. So that's just showing you that case sensitive formatting we were discussing. You're just going to set it equal, and you need to remember that we need to do that int because we're going to, input, because we're going to be asking for a day. Int would be if we were, say, asking for a number. So you'll just put input because we want it to show up to the user. What day of the week is it? Maybe a space after so they can enter it. And then we'll go ahead and put print today is, and just like Alfonso was saying, we're going to do the variable here, and we're conjoining them with that comma, so that whatever the user puts, it's going to print that. So let's show you kind of how this would work out. So here we're going to write, let's say it's Monday. Today is Monday. Oh, my apologies. I made my own mistake, very common, but remember that the spacing does matter depending on commas and the plus sign. So if we do it again, we can show here what day of the week is it? It's Monday. Today is Monday. And so these are just some helpful tips in understanding how printing works, some of the variables you can use in showing that to the user. And going back to our presentation, in conclusion, we just wanted to remind you that we've introduced you to Python and the essentials, some of the basic commands like printing, escape characters, and commenting, and the different variables that you can have, and ultimately getting input from the user overall. These tips are things that you can use when you're programming, and hopefully this helps. We wanted to say thank you for your attention, and we've been really grateful to teach you programming through our videos this semester. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Bye.